Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me on my program. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. If you are joining me from any part of the world, I thank you very much for your contributions on this channel. Please kindly subscribe if you have not subscribed, and also click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. In this channel, I bring information to your doorstep. I bring news from all channels, from every angle. Things that have to do about the world, things that have to do about Africa, more especially Nigeria. I bring it to your doorstep, some information that you ignore, some information that you cannot be able to come across. I look for them, I bring it to your doorstep for you to see. Every video you see on this channel is for educational purpose.
Like a simple way to just wish this away, saying a battle between two chieftains. They attacked an airport.
That's what I'm saying.
Anyone could have been. I mean, airports have security.
Let me give you an example of what I'm trying to tell you. As we speak, there are groups in Nigeria today that really have nothing doing other than mischief, because mischief has become a way of making money. Violence has become the new normal. And I'm trying to tell you that if we have to get this mentality out of our national space, then we have passed that period of trying to be altruistic or politically correct, or we want to do the kinetics, or we want to do the rehabilitations, or we want to do all those things we have already proven have been tested and have failed.
But then the kinetics have not always also done justice, it would seem. We've been fighting this battle since, what, 2009? Yes, I mean, it has tippered down in the war zones, if I can use the term, Sambisa Forest. But what it has only done is to decentralize security all over the place now. So today it's an airport, tomorrow it's a school, and stuff like that. So perhaps the challenge is that we're missing certain conversations, we're missing certain perspectives, we're losing certain sight of certain things. Soldiers such as yourself and, superior soldiers, senior soldiers, retired soldiers, military officers have said that, look, we need to deal with certain social denials, social things that people lack, social lacks that people have had over time. And that has also, been an issue. Just recently, the president called for a conversation with the governor of Imo State on something similar, insecurity and all of that. So it would seem like then that maybe the boots and guns and bullets are not really doing the magic. So what are we missing? Because we can't continue like this. There will be no investments, no jobs, no creativity, no productivity if these things continue. Investors are not going to feel safe.
Really, you have a point. We have already lost investors over time. People are running away. And that brings us back to what I'm trying to tell you. Until we actually pin it, we will keep going around in circles.
So what's the pin?
That's what I'm saying, that you have to make one God-fearing example. You see, when you deal with this kind of people, you speak with a little voice, carry a big stick. You see, let me tell you something. I'm not interested in sounding nice or politically correct now, because the symmetries are growing. That's about the only gain, size-wise, we're seeing with victims. Okay? If we have to stop this inferno, if I could call it, then the first thing we have to do is to show these people that, you know what, we can break necks, horns, and draw blood. We can, look, if we let our army on these people for 90 days, cock our ears and close our eyes, we're going to set them running out of our space. Let the world speak about all the human rights violations. It's okay. But we have to breathe. We have to live. These people have us by the jugular, and somebody is telling me of kinetics, and somebody is telling me, they don't know no kinetics. We're not dealing with, permit me to say, these people are not even human. They're animals. Apologies to animals. Because even animals don't behave like this. These are people that we need to get off the face of this planet, wherever they can be found.
So in reality, I mean,
in the real sense of it. So how then do you tell a soldier whom you have previously told to abandon rules of engagement and just go ahead, do whatever you want to do? How do you now tell them to now come back to that rule of engagement for another, perhaps a different mission? And the question here is, I mean, how far is too far? How do you draw a line? Because that's what separates us from non-state actors. State actors, essentially, or the state, as it were. You have rules, you have a law, you have a constitution and all of that. So how do you draw the line? Because sometimes, I mean, you know about these things. You just throw caution to the wind and they become rogue.
Now you're talking about the soldier who've been told to abandon the rules of engagement. No soldier ever abandons his rules of engagement. It's okay for you to see it from that perspective as a civilian, but I am telling you that a soldier is so resilient that he can actually adapt and readapt and readapt. It all depends on what he has to do. Let me give you an example. 20, 30 years back, demo battalions were not meant to be fighting battalions. Demo means demonstration. They were meant to aid training. The itinerant nature of our security challenges has turned demo battalions to fighting battalions. And that's why one is sitting down in NDA right now and covers that area. So what I'm talking about here is simple. A soldier's rule of engagement is about what? Keeping people alive. Keeping people alive means he has to put his own life at risk. In fact, death is life to a soldier. The art of dying for causes is life to a soldier. So if you want to look at it from the humanists, from the pacifists, and all those angles, you have a point. But don't forget that the soldier you are using is also human. Anytime you drop one soldier dead, you've lost one life. And at what cost are we doing that?
I know that the governor of Kaduna State has said this anyway. He said, go into the bushes and bombard them. Forget about all of these things. But it looks like there's some certain pushback. And you'll understand why. And I think that's a challenge you have as well. So perhaps you've sat in the same meetings with the governor, or you share that same perspective, understandably. But recall the Global Terrorism Index that was recently released. Indeed. Nigeria performed better compared to what we had seen in previous times. But something quite remarkable or instructive about that report is that we've seen more attacks. Yes, we've seen fewer deaths according to that report, but we've seen more attacks. So it would seem as though, yes, there are bombardments. I mean, they've called for simultaneous bombardments across all the northwestern states and even some other bordering states. Yes, we've seen that, but they are carrying out more attacks. So it would seem as though we're fighting this war on the one hand, seem to be winning it, but in terms of attacks, and who knows how brazen they will get, that those attacks will now start leading to more death. So how are we having more attacks when it seems we're winning the war at the same time?
We have more attacks, yes. We have less deaths, yes. Those are the stats. I've seen the last global terrorism, GTI, Global Terrorist Index. And indeed, the number of deaths reduced even though the attacks increased. That is true. What you should be looking at is this. Whatever the Global Terrorist Index says is looking at it at what you could say are generic at a national level. I am isolating this place. I am looking at the people who are operating in that place. You will agree with me that they don't multiply like, I mean, their numbers are not infinite. Their numbers are not infinite. And if you understand what I say, their numbers are not infinite, you see that is why they move in pockets. They move in pockets and try to create fear.
So this one wasn't 300, as I said, or 100?
No, there were about 100 bikes, so said, 100 bikes. They came out from, my guess should be from that Afaka axis. And before you knew it, their attempt to run into the runway there and do whatever was botched.
But Captain, 100 bikes. Let's imagine 2 people at least, or 3 on each bike. Not in ungoverned spaces.
Hold on. Have you been to that place?
Oh dear.
Have you seen the landmass we're talking about?
So how, I mean, it sounds simplistic, but don't we have aerial surveillance? And I think it's important to clear this
all
up.
of this.
To notice these movements.
All of this is key. There is an aerial surveillance facility with Simon Arua. He has a control room where they bring in information, okay? But when you sit and look at these things on paper, they tend to look quite little. On the ground, operationally, 100 bikes will be so insignificant spread out across this place. There is no law that said the bikes form a line and move. You could just see 2, 5, 6 bikes, and the next thing is they zero in and gather, and the attack is on. What I'm trying to tell you is this. There is something they create in their pockets, which we must turn around and use against them. And it's fear. The moment it hits the news that these people are operating, it gets, of course, news has to spread. Today with social media, news spreads in seconds. It creates that fear index that is so high. These little insignificant mites begin to look like some larger than life force. And what I am trying to tell you is that we can use that same fear index against them by putting the fear of our nation space in every single bandit whose mother is a woman like mine.
Captain, just one.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have been educated with this video. I hope you have learned something from the video you just watched. Please go to the comment section and put down your comments. Whatever you think about the video you have watched, or anything you have learned that you want to share together, go to the comment section and keep yourself busy. It's a free place where people share their opinion. And please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time a video comes out. And also, share the video to your family and friends. Share it to all platforms so that people can get aware of what is happening in the world, mainly in the contraption called Nigeria. We have to keep people on their toe, keep people informed on what is going on. That is exactly what we are doing. Every video you are watching in this channel is for the purpose of education and nothing more. Thank you so much for watching, and remember blessed. Bye-bye. See you again.